Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today we will be going to do task 12 from TryHackMe-Nahamstore, which is the last task of this room, which will be regarding SQL injection. Now SQL injection is one of the most found bugs till now in 2022. So today we will be going in very depth on where to look for SQL injection and how to find them, because a lot of bug hunters think that SQL injection can be found in GET request or POST request. But what they don't know is that SQL injection can be found in cookie parameters, language parameters, and in GraphQL endpoints as well, where we have introspection queries, and in queries we have parameters, so we can try SQL injection in those parameters as well. And finally, you can find SQL injection in the URLs as well. So there are a lot of places that an average bug bounty hunter miss to find SQL injection. So today I will find the flags, and as well I will complete the task as well. But my main focus will be on how and where to find SQL injection and what techniques we can use to find SQL injection. So that being said, let's jump in. I already have started my machine and my IP address is 10.10.69.99. So I will come here to task 12, which is the last task, and we need to find two flags right here. But again, I will not be going to solve these tasks much more intentionally because I will find the flags, but the main focus of this video is that how you will find SQL injection vulnerability and what techniques, where are the places, and how to look for SQL injection. So the very first thing what I will do is I will come to my browser. I have added this IP address into my host file already. I will go to nahamstore.thm and I will first of all visit the website. Now again I will follow my same methodology, which was set start BurpSuite, set the scope, and then simply use advanced scope panel, add, and I will add Nahamstore only here. So Nahamstore, click on OK. Now my scope has been added. Go to proxy, re-enable HTTP proxy, and I will check show only in scope items. Click on apply. And the other thing which I like to do is I like to go into project options, miscellaneous, and scroll down, allow the embedded browser to run without a sandbox. I always check this one in the very beginning so that I can use the render functionality of repeater right here. I can also see things in graphical user interface. So now I will come here, and now if I start navigating my web application, what I will look for is first of all login pages, the second one is register pages, the third one is any hidden parameter or normal parameters, and then I will intercept every request in BurpSuite and I will look for SQL injection. So now what I can do is I can first of all I can see I am having a search for products, so I will simply search for test and click enter. And right here again in the beginning I got a test queue parameter where my test is being going on. So now if I come back here, I can see in my BurpSuite my request is being intercepted. So now I will first of all intercept all of the requests, and then in BurpSuite I will try to go for SQL injection. So if I click on register now, because for SQL injection registering is extremely important, so test at test.com, and I will do test 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's make it test 1 2 3 and register. And now I will be automatically redirected to my home page. There is no login page. So what I will do is I will simply manually go for login page. So if I hit enter, there is the login page, and if I do anything random right here so that my request gets intercepted in my BurpSuite, so I will do test at test.com. right now I'm not testing for SQL injection, be very careful. So I will do everything in my BurpSuite. So now login, and now my invalid email or password combination. Now my request will be recorded in my BurpSuite. So if I see here, yes, /login, post request as well, and register post request as well. So login pages are extremely important for SQL injection than any hidden parameters or other parameters as well. So if I come back right here, if I go to home page now, I can see right here what I can do is I can view the products right here. I have a search functionality, and then I am having some account settings right here. So again, testing the functionality, understanding the web application. So let's click on view, how it handles things. So right here it is a product endpoint and the ID parameter is 2. So what I can do is again I can intercept the request and I can manipulate this one. So for example, I will not test it right now. Let's first of all intercept each and every request in BurpSuite. So discount code, I will simply add 12 and check stock functionality as well. There are 293 items into the stock, add to basket. And again I got another parameter added is equal to 1, which where I can test for SQL injection as well. Now I will go to my cart, and it says you don't have any address add, so let's add an address. So I'll do test here as well, and 54, or let's do 1 2 3 4 5 6, add address, and Mr. Test right here, and card number 1234 1234, and this one, make payment and receive. So now we have a receipt as well, and everything is done. I missed this returns button as well. So if I click on return, order number 1, please choose a reason. Let's do wrong size, and return information 1, create a return. And I got an authentication parameter which is having some sort of token. And then if I go to my account, and nothing interesting, address book, and address book is again having this address, so I have recorded everything, orders, and again order information, order ID is here as well. So if I click on this one, this might be interesting as well for SQL injection. So now I have requested intercepted every request in my BurpSuite, and now I will analyze everyone right here. Now first of all, I will not solve the task. I will show you how to find SQL injection vulnerability in the request, in the response, and anywhere which you find, whether it is get request, whether it is post request, whether there are some hidden parameters or something sort of. So right here in the beginning I saw that this is a search functionality right here, and it is having q is equal to test. So what I will do is I will first of all send the request to repeater, and I will click on send, and it says 200 and okay. Now right here there are a lot of places where I can test for SQL injection. I can see that cookie parameter is also right here, and I can see test parameter. Now to test for SQL injection, we have two types of injections which are most important. One of them is error based, the other one is blind injection. Normally in latest libraries, error based SQL injection is very less found. We need to find blind sort of injection. But what we can do is we can simply, in a q parameter or any parameter, we can do a single quotation and hit send. Now when I click single quotation and hit send, I cannot see any changes right here. If I do, let's say, double quotation and hit send, I can see based upon the bytes here as well, or I can render the functionality as well if it works for me. But I think so in version 2021 might not working. I get the loading sign right here, but that's absolutely fine. So right here it says 0 items here. So yeah, so we can see that search products !q is equal to single quotation right here, but nothing interesting where I can see the error message. Then it says search results for this thing. So let's come to browser and let's see what actually is happening here. So if I come here and if I search for test, right here I can see that it says nothing. But if I do single quotation, yeah, so right here it is adding my single quotation right in this place. So let's try for double quotation, because if there is a SQL error or something sort of that one, what we can try to do is we can try to, it will always the application will always give us a SQL error. So like it will say that there is an error in your syntax, SQL syntax, so please do this sort of thing. So right now I'm not getting any sort of error. Then what I can do, single quotation round bracket might work, but it doesn't work anything. Then double quotation round bracket, and it doesn't work right here. Now you don't move on. What you need to do is you need to try for blind SQL injection here as well. And now for those of you who are beginners, they might miss, they don't know how to check for blind SQL injection and all of those stuff. So for checking blind SQL injection, what you can do is you can do single quotation, and then you can do sleep function and add a sleep of 5. Might work sometimes but doesn't work. My website gets loaded at the same time. So sleep 5 means that after 5 seconds, if my website gets loaded, it is a blind SQL injection. Then I can also do single quotation semicolon sleep 5. But again, my website is extremely fast, not loading after 5 seconds. Then what I can do is I can go to Google and I can try to download a list of word lists. So if I go to Google and if I say one of the best person for which is having a word list is ORWA ATYAT, which is a bug bounty hunter on Bugcrowd, extremely professional and amazing. His Medium blogs are amazing, his methodology is amazing. So what I can do is I can go for like ORWA ATYAT GitHub, and on his repository I will highly recommend that you should definitely check his word list. His word lists are also amazing. The other word list which you can go for is checklist, or you can also download any word list from GitHub. But again, his word list is amazing, especially for blind SQL injection. So you can go right here in the word list section, and right here the second one is sql.txt, and it is having a bunch of payloads which are blind as well. So right here if I click on raw, you can see I'm having blind SQL injection payloads like wait for, delay, and then 5 seconds, and these sort of things, and these are enough to test for SQL injection vulnerability, which is blind SQL injection. So what we can do is you don't need to move on, because if you don't find in Q parameter that you are not having any sort of injection, what you can do is you can come to your BurpSuite, you can send a request to Intruder, and in Intruder simply go to positions, clear all of the positions, set the Q parameter right here, and click on, let's say anything, test, and let's select this one and click on add right here, and I will go into the payload section, I will paste the payloads, and I will click on start the attack. Now this is extremely important. I would highly recommend you that you should go into your Intruder and try to do a brute force attack and see how the application is behaving. If for example, if there is a delay of 5 seconds, now I am using a community version of BurpSuite, but if you are using professional version, it will be extremely fast. So depending upon what is the change in length, what is something different, you can try to check for different sort of SQL injection. And I have seen a lot of times that a lot of bug bounty hunters have found SQL injection just like this. Now one more important thing, the other thing, okay, let's stop the attack right here, because I think so I'm not having any delay right here because my BurpSuite Intruder is working fine. If it is taking time or if it is stopping right here for 5 seconds, so I will definitely check that whether there is a blind SQL injection or not. So in BurpSuite Professional it makes much more sense, but in Community Edition it is a little bit slow. So I will close this one right here, discard. And the other thing what we can do is we can, let's come back to our proxy here, and right here, don't give up on this request. Again, I'm telling you that don't give up. You can try for SQL injection in your session parameter right here as well. So in cookie parameter in session, you can simply do single quotation and hit send. Sometimes this might give you an SQL error message. So whether it is get request or post, then what you can do is you can go and follow the same methodology. Look for blind SQL injection in cookie parameter. So what you need to do is you need to simply send the request to Intruder, go to the Intruder, clear all of the things, and add payloads option right here. So I will click on add and add. Let's add anything random in here. Let's say test. And now test this one. Might be possible that Q parameter is not vulnerable, but cookie parameter might give you some sort of SQL error. And then what you can do is you can also try to look for in something sort of user agent as well, or any other place which looks interesting. Right now, cookie parameter or Q parameter is looking interesting, nothing else. But what I have found a lot of times in different e-commerce websites or a lot of random websites, that there is a language parameter as well. Normally it is very common parameter, so something sort of this. So if I remove this from here, then there will be like language, and it will be set to like en, and then what you can do is you can do it right here. And I have seen this report on HackerOne as well, that one person did SQL injection in language parameter and he was able to find SQL injection. And after that, once you got single quotation, double quotation, single quotation, round bracket, double quotation, round bracket, try to do each and everything with the request and see if the application is giving you any sort of strange behavior. And if it is giving you a strange behavior, simply send the request to Sqlmap, and we will do in 1 second as well. Now what else you can do is, let's say if I go to my repeater right here, the other thing what you can do is there is a queue parameter. So what you can do is you can try to change it into an array, so like this, and let's say test. So now hit send. Again I'm having a 200, okay, but let's see what it gives now. So it says search results for array. So this looks interesting as well, and you can see right here this is a strange behavior because I didn't specify array anywhere. So let's see, this is looking interesting to me. So show response in browser, copy, let's come back to our browser, paste here, hit enter, and right here it says search results for array, and I added an array parameter right here. So this might be interesting. I can test for SQL injection right at this place where I added array, might be interesting. So if I do q semicolon, hit enter, and I didn't got anything, but the strange thing is that it gave me 2 things. So looks interesting. So I can just send this to SQL injection. I am not getting any error message as well. So single quotation, round bracket, and you can see why I'm testing. So I'm not testing after equal sign, I'm testing before equal sign, after q parameter as well. So this is a lot of bug bounty hunters find SQL injection. I can also test before q parameter as well. So sometimes might be possible that I can get a SQL injection right here, so something sort of this, but still I'm not having anything. So I can again send a request to Intruder. I can test for blind SQL injection payloads, and if any request is taking more than 5 seconds, I will definitely send that to Sqlmap, and I will test for blind SQL injection, and hopefully Sqlmap is one of the best and it will give you the results. So now let's move on to other requests. So now I think so I have shown you a basic things where we can test for SQL injection. Now sometimes it happens that you are unable to find SQL injection, and sometimes you just want some automation. So in BurpSuite Professional you can send request to ActiveScan as well, and ActiveScan is extremely powerful. But I would recommend you that don't send every request to ActiveScan. Just send requests which are post request only to ActiveScan. Now the other thing which I forgot was that I can change the request method to post right here as well. So change request method. Now the request method has been set to post, and then now I will test for single quotation as well. So q is equal to single quotation, hit send, and it says 404 not found. Then if I do double quotation, 404 not found, and again the same methodology, single quotation, round bracket, send, nothing, single quotation, sleep function of 5, and we need to URL encode this one because there is a space. So control U, send, 404 not found. Then I will do single quotation, semicolon, send, 404 not found, semicolon, after space, not found. Then if I do single quotation, sleep, not found, single quotation, semicolon, sleep 5, not found. So in this way we can test for post parameters as well. Now again don't give up right here. There can be q parameter, use Arjun, use param minor, and try to look for some other parameters. There is a q parameter, so that is not vulnerable. So what you can do is q is equal to test, and there is another parameter that is, let's say, z. So z is equal to single quotation, send, 404 not found, z is equal to double quotation, send, and 404 not found. So you never know what actually right here is present. You can look for hidden parameters in the page source of the site. You can go for different sort of tools, Arjun, param, spider, and all of that. So look for hidden parameters, change the request method, go for cookie parameter, go for user agent, and try to look for in every place where you can look for. Now let's move on. And again I'm having the same thing here, search dash products, q is equal to test, so you can test right here the same thing. Then I'm having a post request on register endpoint, and this is one of the most interesting one because it becomes very powerful if you are on a bug bounty platform, HackerOne or Bugcrowd, and you have found a program and you are looking for SQL injection. What we can do is we can go for register page, and you can see register is equal to register underscore email is equal to this one, register underscore password is equal to test1234556. And now these are the most important places where you can look for SQL injection. Again, if you are not too much confident that you can do manually, go copy the payloads, send the request to Intruder and try to do a brute force. No problem, you can get locked out. You will get 429 too many requests, but that's absolutely fine. You can try to use the extension from BurpSuite right here, which is called, I think so, IP rotate. So if I do IP rotate, I think so it is an extension of BurpSuite Pro. Let's see. Yeah, so this one, no, this is not an extension of BurpSuite Professional. It is free, so you can use IP rotate. You need to specify AWS keys in here, and that is very important because I have used IP rotate. It is fairly easy. You just need to specify the IP address or the host name, and then you need to specify your AWS keys, which are absolutely free. So you go create your account on AWS, paste in the IP rotate, and now do brute force attack. You will bypass brute force protection. So a lot of times I have done this one. I have also submitted few reports because I normally don't do bug bounties, but still I was testing IP rotate extension. I did a brute force attack. I was having 429 and too many requests. I turned on my IP rotate extension, and then it didn't give me the 429, it gave me 200 okay all of the time. I was able to brute force my password. I just entered my password into the request and into the payload list, and it gave me 200 okay onto that one, and the other ones it gave me 404. So I submitted a report, and it was, unfortunately, they were not accepting the request. So I found the same thing on 2.1. One of them got duplicate, the other one they say that we do not accept rate limiting. But again, rate limiting is still being accepted on a lot of Bugcrowd programs and HackerOne as well. Normally I have not seen on HackerOne, but HackerOne is also accepting rate limiting on some programs, but Bugcrowd is much more effective in rate limit as well. So now what you can do is you can simply again try to go for, let's send a request and let's see what happens. Register, and I think so I have already registered by this account, but so that's fine absolutely, because I don't need to take a look for that one. If I do single quotation and in password as well single quotation, send, let's see what happens. Password must be at least 6 characters, so let's do test 1234556, and let's do any random email, test111@test.com, send, and let's see what happens. It says invalid email address, enter. So I think so due to semicolon, due to single quotation, it's saying this one. So what I will do again is, this one is extremely interesting because I have an error message as well, invalid email address entered. So now I will send a request to Intruder as well. I will go to Intruder, positions, clear everything, and again look for every places. Sometimes there is a register endpoint here as well, so I can test after register endpoint as well. So might be possible, might I get SQL injection right here. So right now I will test right here. So I will add right here 2 times, and I will, okay, let's only test this one. So yes, let's only test email parameter, and then I will test for password parameter. So payloads, and I will copy it from the ORWA ATYAT GitHub repository, paste it right here, start the attack, okay, and right here the first one was 302, which is 0, and the other ones are still 200, okay, 3598 is the length. So the any length which is getting changed from here, I will definitely go and take a look out. So let's look at this request response. If I, or let's see the request first. So register, and you can see right here test111 at test.com, and then it is trying at the end single quotation 2 round brackets and sleep function, so blind SQL injection test. But still it is not taking 5 seconds to response back. The response was very immediate, so that's why it is not vulnerable. So let's see what it gives right here. Register, login, home, and I didn't get anything from here right now. Okay, so invalid email address entered. So what I can do is I can copy the error message right here, close this one again, discard. I can go into options right here, clear this grep match list right here, and paste the list right here, and now start the attack. Now I will have another checkbox of that whether invalid email address is present here or not. So you can see all of these requests are giving invalid email address, enter. So if some request is taking a lot of time, definitely go and take a look. That might be vulnerable. Pass it to Sqlmap and do further exploitation. So now right now I'm having 3598, and hopefully I will be having 3598 on all of these. But still, this is the methodology. Go for different programs, try to find out everywhere. Now the other place what you can do is you can go for something sort of this. So if I go to my repeater right here, what you can do is you can also go put an array right here and try to send. Sometimes might work. And you can also try to do intruder brute forcing right here in email array parameter. Then sometimes before equal to, just do single quotation right here and hit send. Sometimes it can give you single error message and something sort of this. Then this is a post request. Change the request to get request. So change request method. Now this is a get request. Now hit send. Let's see what it gives. So it is not giving me that this method is not allowed. That is extremely potential, because they should give us an error message that hey, get method is not allowed, you are doing wrong. But it is still giving me something. I don't care about the response, what response it is giving me. But if I am able to test for SQL injection, I can do brute force. Might be possible that sometimes I get blind SQL injection and my page loads after 5 seconds, after 10 seconds, after a sleep function. So extremely important. So this was all the techniques where you can find for SQL injection. Go check every parameter, put the single quotation in every parameter, put array in every parameter, and try to do brute force attack on every parameter. Don't worry about the lockout. And then what I will do is, now let's try to solve this flags as well. So what we can do is, yeah, so I got a endpoint and this is ID parameter. So let's send this to repeater, click on send. Again the same methodology, ID is equal to single quotation, hit send, and here you go. So you have an error in your SQL syntax. Check the manual that corresponds to your request and something sort of this. I am 100% sure that this is vulnerable to SQL injection, and then we can directly send a request to Sqlmap and try to exploit that one if you are a beginner. Because once you have found this error message, definitely use Sqlmap if you are a beginner. But let's try to do something manually. So let's do single quotation union select, and let's say 1 2 3 4 5. I am looking for columns here, so minus, hit send. I think so, yes, URL encode this one. So select all of this one because there are spaces. I think so I should do this in BurpSuite. So it is giving me again, you have an error in your SQL syntax. Let's do 1 send. Now it gives 404 not found. Then if I do anything that is like doesn't exist, so I will do -1 send now, and 200. Okay, let's scroll down. I'm having the same page, I think so. Let's move on to the browser and let's try to test the product endpoint. So view single quotation, you have error in your SQL syntax. Then if I do like, let's say -1. And one more thing which is very important is that you can do mathematical operations as well. So 1 + 1, hit enter. And again, I got the same error message that you have error in your SQL syntax. What I can do is I can simply go for something, let's say -1 union select 1 2 3 4 5. Let's do minus 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 send. And right here you can see I got the reflection back, and 2 is reflecting, right here 2 is reflecting, and right here 4 is reflecting back. So in this case, the ones which are reflecting back, what I can do is I can try to execute queries. So what actually happened right here is that I did any wrong parameter which doesn't exist, which is -1, and then I did union select 1 2 3 4 5. Union select 1 2 3 4 5 means that I'm looking for columns right here, which columns are existing and whether there are 5 columns and all of those, and then which are reflecting back. So column 2 is reflecting back. So what I can do is I can use different SQL functions like at version, and at version will give us the version, and you can see 8.0.23 Ubuntu, and here as well. Then we can also see the database name. So I will simply do, I think so it is database. We can look for like SQL, MySQL manual or documentation. So database function, hit enter, and right here you can see the database name is Nahamstore, and much more we can go in depth. But my main focus is that we can do these sort of things if you are a beginner in bug bounty using Sqlmap. So no need to do these sort of things. If you are interested in these sort of things, manual exploitation in much more depth, you can watch IPSec videos on Hack the Box. He has done the manual exploitation for SQL injection a lot of times, especially in a video of his which is Jarvis. So he has explained manual SQL injection in Jarvis. Amazing, he is amazing. So what I will do now is we need to find the flag, I think so, to solve this machine. So I will simply send the request to Sqlmap. So how to do that one? That's fairly easy. So copy the request, and right here I will simply add id is equal to 1, copy all of the request. I will come right here, I will make a file. Let's call the file as SQL-file. Hit send, paste the request in this file, and close this one. And I will simply do Sqlmap -r and SQL file, and I will hit enter. But when I will hit enter, it will ask me a lot of questions, so I don't want to answer them manually. So I will use --batch. So it will automatically answer the questions. Hit enter now, and let's see what it says. So now it is testing for different sort of SQL injection vulnerability, and it will try all of the queries, and it will find whether that parameter is vulnerable or not. So let's wait. So now you can see I got the output, and right here again it says that it found parameter id, get type boolean base blind, error base, tag queries, time base. So now that becomes fairly easy to exploit this one. So what we can do is we can simply do --dbs to see the databases, and now it will give me the databases and information schema and Nahamstore. So let's see what is in Nahamstore database. So -D Nahamstore, and I will see the tables in Nahamstore. Hit enter now, and it will list me all of the tables, and the tables are product and SQLi_1. So let's dump something from SQLi1. So I will do, the table is SQLi_1. We can see -- columns as well, but I will not see the columns right here. So you can use -- columns, but I will simply dump the table. So dump, and let's see what it gives. So, and right here I have the flag for error based SQL injection. So in this way, once you have found SQL injection, what you can do is simply use Sqlmap if you are a beginner, and simply fairly easy that you can get into the database. So I will submit this one first flag, and yes, it is the correct one. And let's see where else we can find the other one. So let's come back to our BurpSuite and proxy, and if I scroll down, the parameters which looks interesting to me are this one. Now right here a lot of people will miss this part right here, because right here they say that hey, there is no parameter, but you can see again tests for everything. You never know what you will get. So session parameter in cookie, token parameter in cookie. What you need to do is simply do single quotation, double quotation, and you can send a request to intruder and try to do a brute force attack. And the one of the most important thing is that you are having the get request right here, and it is having a order ID of 4. Now this is an order ID, so you can do single quotation and hit send. Let's see what it gives us. 404 not found. So again, try to do a brute force attack, intruder attack with SQL injection payloads using ORWA ATYAT word list, and extremely useful word list. If you are having any delay, try to look for Sqlmap and try to send a request, and hopefully you will find something. So now what I will do is I will come to my proxy again, and if I scroll down, I am having returns, post request. Right here I can see now post requests are very important for getting SQL injection. We can send the post request if you are using BurpSuite Professional to active scan as well, and send a post request to Sqlmap as well. You never know what you can find. Again, it is extremely important. So right here what I will do is there are 3 post parameters right here. One of them is order number, return reason, and return info. So what we can do is we can try to inject everything right here. So I will do single quotation, hit send, 200 okay, single quotation in the other one, and 3 single quotation in the last one, send, okay, single quotation in the returns parameter, send, 404 not found. So that is not found. That's fine. I can go for SQL injection, blind SQL injection. But what we can do is again the same methodology, try to do brute force attack. So I will be quick right here. We can also send a request to BurpSuite and Intruder and Sqlmap as well. So let's send a request to Sqlmap. I will copy all of these requests from here. So let's do, and what I will do is, now this is extremely important and I don't know why this happens, but don't test all of the things in Sqlmap. I have seen a lot of people, they copy all of the requests and they send the request to Sqlmap. No, don't do that one. Try one by one only, because that is very important. So what I will do is I will first of all test only order underscore number parameter. So to test only single parameter, we use a wildcard. So wildcard means that Sqlmap will know that okay, I need to do only testing after 1. So what Sqlmap will do is it will only test after 1, and let's see whether it finds something. So I will add a wildcard right here, copy the request, I will come right here, I will make another file, let's say sql-file2, paste the request in, save this one, and now you can see I am having one wildcard right here. So Sqlmap will only test this one. So Sqlmap-r for file, sql file2 -- batch. Hit enter now and let's see. And right here you can see when it did, right here it says parameter multipart #1, which is custom, which I did, and the payload he used is and 7781 is equal to 7781, and it was able to find the SQL injection. This is very important. Now if I would have not added that wildcard in that parameter, it will test for user agent, it will test for cookie parameter, it will test for every parameter, and chances are that it might not find anything. So let's do again the same thing, dbs. I got the databases. I will do -D Nahamstore, and I will do -tables. And now you can see I am having SQLi_2. So I will dump the table SQLi2. So SQLi_2, and I will do --dump, and hopefully this will be the second flag. So --dump, and I think so this is the second flag. Let's see if this will not be. I will try to find out some other places. So let's come back to our browser, submit the flag, and yes, this is the correct flag. So this is how actually we do SQL injection. So let's come back right here, and you need to test. Now you can see I did a wildcard right here. If Sqlmap didn't give anything, remove the wildcard from here, come back here, add the wildcard right here, again go send this to Sqlmap, then again add a wildcard here and again send this to Sqlmap. In this way Sqlmap will try every payload on only one parameter at a time. Or you can send a request to ActiveScan. ActiveScan will do a lot of things, and I am telling you only if you are a beginner. If you are some advanced, you are OSCP certified and you are web application, like you have experience regarding web application and programming, I would highly recommend you that you should do manually. But automation again helps us a lot, especially Sqlmap. It is amazing. So now this was, I think so, I explained all of the things. Test for SQL injection in all of the places, in user agent again, in URLs, in cookies, and in language parameters, in post parameters. Especially post ones are very important, especially on login pages and the register pages. Now I will give you a small tip which you will find very interesting, that how you can find SQL injection on live websites. The first tip is that go and do Google docking, because a lot of people think that Google docking is not interesting, but Google docking is extremely powerful, and I will let you know how. So what I will do is I will simply do, let's say I am testing a site called Nahamstore. So I will do site colon and I will do nahamstore.thm. I'm just doing this for demo. This will not work right here, but I'm saying that you can try to go for like on real target on HackerOne or Buckroute. So what you can do is you can do in URL, and in URL you can specify login. So hit enter, and then you will get all of the login pages for nahamstore.thm. And when you will get all of the login pages, go and test all of those. The other powerful thing is SHODAN, and SHODAN is extremely powerful. You can use I will not open SHODAN right here, but what you can do is in SHODAN, if you are, let's say you can see in my main page, if I go to my main page, home page, you can see that my title is having nahamstore-home. So if I view the page source, and somewhere there will be a title tag right here, you can see nahamstore-home. So what you can do is you can go to your SHODAN, and in SHODAN what you can do is you can do http.title, and there are a lot of DORKS for SHODAN as well. So http title colon in double quotation, simply paste it like this and hit enter, and you will see all of those which are having the sort of this. So in that case, that will help you a lot. So SHODAN is extremely important, and Google docking is extremely important. Find hidden login panels, admin panels, and go test the SQL injection vulnerability. Do a lot of brute forcing in Intruder, and try to look for ActiveScan as well, Sqlmap as well, and all of the other things as well. So this was all about Nahamstore. I made almost all of the videos separately, so you can try to learn each and every bug as easy as possible. Especially this series was for beginners. Hopefully you will like this a lot, and if you want me to make and some other videos on different topics, you can simply message me or DM me on Twitter. I am as let me show my username. My username is this one on Twitter. Just message me there, follow me there, or just message me. I will try to reply you as soon as possible. And if you want me to make some more videos about bug bounty, I will try to make those videos as well. So this was all about bug bounty as well, starting from recon and ending till SQL injection. And hopefully you will like all of my series. And this was all about this video as well. So I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.